It's pretty much exactly 12 o'clock in the morning right now. Banging a boom. Well, Construction Stories Part 121. Man, that is a lot of stories. Fashionably late. I get up this morning, I do some jizz-jazz around the house, I read a little bit of my fairy tale book, my novel, and then I go outside, I do some weeding, I'm like, oh, okay, get in the groove, and then I freaking get stuck on YouTube again, so I hate that so much. I need to, like, not have a computer ever, or just maybe no internet connection or something, I don't know. But, so I'm like, oh, I gotta go pick up mail from this dude who has my mail, and I'm like, okay, so I also decided to go to the store to get a thing that I think I talked about in my other videos was an antique shop, and we found these barnyard lanterns, and so I went and I picked them up. And so tomorrow, I'm going to clean the crap out of this baby, and then buy some oil and a new wick, and it's just going to be so cool, because, I mean, you know, you're out in the woods and you're like, and there's like wolves all around you, you have your sword, and you're just like, yeah. Anyways, I'm pretty stoked about that. I love old things, and that is an old thing, so I'm happy. But I went out, bought that, went out, got my mail, went out, and I ate lunch at this little burger place. Pretty darn good. Had to stand in line forever, but that made me late to work. Otherwise, I would have been super on time. But I was hungry, so it was worth it. And so I go to work, and I like walk in like 2:59, and I'm just setting down my stuff, and people are starting to gather for the pre-job meeting, and then my boss just is walking toward me, and he's like, "Yo, F you, you're late, go home." And I'm like, what kind of a start to a day is that? And so when I say I'm like, that means that my reaction towards that was very negative, and it really threw off it just really threw off the day. So the first 3 hours, I was just pissed, just mad at everybody because they were all being dicks, and I just wasn't in the mood for it because he had been a dick to me on the first day. I mean, in the first like 5 seconds of being there. So it sucked. I will admit I was probably being overly sensitive, but I will also admit that the way he messes with people, I don't like it, because he acts really serious, and as soon as you get serious back, he'll be like, oh no, I was joking. So, whatever. That's his thing to deal with. But I was just mad, and like a big boss was like, yo, I need you to come with me. Fine. And I go with him, and he makes me do some work, and the whole time he's like trying to crack jokes and stuff, but he's like a douchebag all the time. So I'm not smiling or joking back. He's an a-hole. I don't like him. He's a dick. And then he's like, yo, Nolan, why are you so bitter towards me? And I tell him it's because you're a dick all the time. It's like, well, I gotta be consistent, right? And it was stupid. So I was still pissed. Break time. And then after that, we all went in and watched a safety movie made by some Canadians, so I could like barely understand what they were saying, but it was still pretty good, pretty safety. Woo! And then kept working. Lunchtime, freaking. Oh, I haven't been talking about this. Every time we go to lunch, since the weather's been so amazingly beautiful, we go out to this little grassy knoll and have lunch there. And so I just went out there and ate some chocolate pudding and some cherries, and then I just laid down and just looked at the sky. And it was so blue. It was so stinking blue that I could just sit there and stare at it. And it was wonderful. And, oh yeah, the other thing was I got this shirt because I was driving on my way to the thing, and then I was like, man, I hate wearing a shirt and then a safety vest over it. And then I saw a store right there. And it was like, yo, $5 for a safety shirt. I'm like, yeah. And I just run in with a $5 bill. I'm like, where are the shirts? And she points at a rack, and I go over and just grab the one that actually fits me. So it's like a children's because I'm not fat. And, yeah, it So, I mean, I'm fine with it. I went to work and they're like, oh, nice light blue shirt. But they all wear like bright yellow fluorescent shirts, so I'm fine with it. And yeah, then after lunch I was better because I had eaten and kind of meditated a little bit, so I was like, okay, man, so good. It's cool, man. And then we just kept working, and we didn't have a ton to do, so the boss sent everybody home early, except for me. He was like, hey, do you want to work more? Yeah. So I worked more, which means I got my 40 hours in, which is good. So I'm going to actually go to freaking sleep tonight. That's the goal. I'm going to go to sleep a half hour after I finish this. All right. Ant style. Okay, cool. Riddle me this. I need a riddle for you. I need some type of riddle. 40 white horses riding up a hill of red. Question. Okay. Well, here's the question. Are you okay when people are late to things, or when you're late to things? Or does it bother you? Are you like, oh, I'm late, or are you like, oh, whatever? Because I can be both at different times, but I usually hate being late. So tell me. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night.